everybody knows that I am a Blade Runner, right? Everybody knows that somewhere way back in 1999, I got injured in Kargil war, and also knows that from there I was evacuated, brought dead to the hospital. From there, I got up on my feet, ran my first half marathon in 2009, and then the Blade Run in 2011. So people know me as a Blade Runner. But what goes actually behind that? I mean, how this thing becomes possible that I am capable and I am able to perform and perform better in each run is something which I am going to share. Three things, three challenges which I face, and these three challenges are time, injuries and prosthesis. Time, of course, सबके लिए challenge है. Everybody faces this challenge. Yes, I can see the nod. But question with me is that how do I manage that time in which I have to do practice, in which I have to go to office, because the office times is from 9 to 6, which is fixed, and I have to go there because I'm the bread earner. If I don't go there, मेरे को खाना नहीं मिलेगा. Right? Not only that, I have to come back and sometime help my better half so that actually the bread which I am earning is being placed in front of me also. So when I have to go, I have to reach office at 9 o'clock. That means at least 1 hour for getting ready and breakfast and all. And when I am into practice, so for 21 kilometers, the minimum time or the approximate time which I take is 2.5 hours. So when the event is nearby, my practice session also increases, which is ranging from 1 hour to 3.5 hours. So 3.5 hours of practice, and before that I need 1.5 hours to get ready because of the injuries and because of getting ready and wearing prosthesis. That means 5 hours before 8. So divide minus, how much is the number? I am a little weak in maths. 3. So at least morning 3 I have to get ready. So at 3 I have to get ready. That means counting reverse, 7 hours minimum sleep, 8 is actually required, but if I take it 7, that means go back. How much? 8. 8 in the evening I should be in the bed. 1 hour minimum gap required between dinner and sleeping. So at 7 I should have my dinner, and 9 to 6 is my office. Actually sometime I leave by 6:30 or so. Travel time 1.5 hours. Well, that's how you need to manage, but with focus and control. That means no TV, no outings, no parties, no late nights, no fun. But then when you are focused, you need to perform. Somewhere you need to set your priorities clear. Then comes to injuries. If you see this picture, actually, I feel that whenever I need to take a selfie, I am not alone. So many things are there with me, so many injuries are there with me, right? But they are good. They are good. Why? Because these injuries help me. How? Hearing loss, Whenever I have to actually hear somebody, I take the phone to my left ear. It gives me a little clear hearing. And whenever I don't want to hear, I take it to the right ear because there's a less. Huh? Hello? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Right? Sorry. And the latest entry in my injury is actually the operated bladder. Surprisingly, the doctor found that I am having a type of infection which is very rarely found. 30 years of doctor's experience, he said, you are the 4th case. So I said, it's good that I should remember the name of the infection. It speaks like cystitis cystica glandularis. Wow. Well, and the other thing which helps me is these shrapnels. Where all these are? Yeah, embedded shrapnels. Embedded shrapnels I'm carrying because they are the souvenir given by our neighborhood. So I have to always keep it intact in my body, safe, and so that. And also by the time, perhaps, as they say, हमारे शास्त्रों में जो बोला गया है that in the end, actually what you need is kafan, right? 2 gaj kapda. 2 gaj kapde ke liye I think I am carrying enough load in my body which you can buy in the end. Come on, yeah, I'm joking, I'm not serious. Well, when you carry so many injuries, of course, something which is required is perseverance and adaptability, because howsoever good disciplined you are, somewhere or else some injury troubles, and most often the advice by the doctors are not supposed to be followed, because most of the time these advice are actually to not to do something, and by not doing something I am not able to achieve, I will not achieve what I am supposed to do. So somewhere you need to keep the idea in mind that how I have to overcome. For example, there was a shrapnel somewhere in my ribs here, 1 inch big, which when I started practicing for my first blade run created a little bit of trouble, because it shook and it got shifted from its place, which I did not realize that why the pain is happening. When I compared the old x-ray with the new, I realized that there is a shift in the shrapnel. Now doctor advised me, undergo a surgery, let me remove it. I said that's not possible, because it is just round the corner, my first blade run, I can't leave that. So what was the other way around to help out? Now if running has actually shook my body and shifted the shrapnel, that means if I shake it a little more, it will shift it further. And I did that and it actually helped. So you need to think out of the box that how do I manage these things. This is the most difficult and important part of an amputee, because I might be capable of doing a lot of things. If something stops me from my performance is the dependency on the prosthesis. Now prosthesis can be two types, two types things which affects. One is the type of amputation. When I say type of amputation, means whether it is a single amputee or a double amputee. When you see somebody without 2 legs vis-a-vis somebody with 1 leg, actually you feel pity more about that person. वैसे किसी के लिए भी नहीं pity feel करना चाहिए. But then you feel bad that this guy has lost 2. But when it comes to performance or in athletic field or sports field, you would be amazed that this person is much more efficient than me, because I have to manage between my original leg and a prosthetic leg. The double amputee do not have this challenge. So much so, if you know Oscar Pistorius, there was a question mark raised on his prosthesis also, and so a study was conducted to find out that how much does the prosthesis help anybody, because the question was that somebody who is running with a prosthesis is performing better than others because there is a technological help vis-a-vis somebody who has his own legs. And the study gave the answer that when you actually run, there is some amount of energy which stores and bounces back, is being given back to the body. For a normal person it is 249%, but for an amputee it is only 90%. That much is the difference. Second thing is the level of amputation. So the level of amputation, when I mean whether it is below the knee or above the knee or through the hip. 3 major differences. In my case, I stand somewhere here. So you will find a lot of runners who are below the knee. Oscar himself is below the knee. That means they have their own body part, the knee, God gifted knee, They don't have to depend upon something like artificial knee, this part, which I depend upon. In my case, that is the another challenge, because it's not also the longer prosthesis, but also the managing of this part, this stump, which is for which it is little difficult to fit a prosthesis better, so that there is no pumping motion inside the body part, which is fitted inside. So because of that pumping motion only, a lot of injuries happens. For example, okay, look at the shrapnels which I mentioned. You see these pieces? These all are the shrapnels. This is the patella, and there is one sitting underneath it also. So any type of technologically developed thing also for an amputee who is like me does not supports me 100% because of these culprit sorry. So what happens ultimately? When I got my first blade, I was exuberant that it will be so easy now, vis-a-vis the walking leg which I was using, which I used for first 3 half marathons. I'm sorry. But it was not so, because every time, as I mentioned, that the injury, that shrapnel which was struck here in, something like this used to create trouble, or any other part of the injury used to create a little bit of challenges, because now when I was practicing, I was not just doing the hop run, like this. I was actually in air every time I used to run. So because of this in air thing, the pressure on prosthesis is more, and the pressure is actually directly going to the ground, where there is no shock absorbers like you have your knee and ankle. So there is a direct impact of this carbon fiber thing on the knee, and then this travels to the hip, and then this travels to the head, and already damaged head of mine gets cranky a little more. So these are the types of injury which generally I used to get. Now the skin used to get peel off. This is the blood socks which after the run, when I remove my prosthesis, the result is something like this. But with little bit of ingenuity and little bit of logical thinking, I could come over these injuries with the help of I went to US to get a fitment done, and this is the leg which I got from there. So the injuries are under control up to the extent of 95%. But then something or else keeps happening, whether it is time, whether it is the internal injuries, or whether it is these prosthesis fitment. So if some discipline which I carry in my life, it is only termed as flexibility. I can't have a set pattern, a set routine, a set morning to evening performed thing, not possible. So priorities have to be shifted, and accordingly I have to modify the lifestyle. That is how every time I perform, I try to do little more and little good. The result is so that this group which I started, the challenging one, the t-shirt which I am wearing, the result is that by looking at whatever actions I have done, there are few more amputees who gained confidence, and from one DP Singh in 2009, as of today, we are a group of 650 amputees, out of which 50 of them are participating. Approximately 50 of the amputees, I call them challengers. That's how the group name is, the challenging one. Challenges coming together are known as challenging one. So 50 of them are actually participating in various types of events all across country. And the only reason why this could become possible is not any gyan, any lecture, any seminars, just purely and purely by the action shared with each other on ground. So I feel that if there is any type of challenge or a storm in your life happening as of today also, which I am sure must be it small or big, take it from me, is going to be something good which is coming on your way. And one thing which helped me altogether always is the smile. Thank you so much.